Now, on another positive note, South Korea continues to be a success story as an export market. As we reported in the very first episode of Feedback TV a couple of years ago now, Australian beef swept up when US imports were banned from that market over BSE fears. But now that the Americans are back in, how have we fared? Here in Korea, kids not only love beef, they love Australian beef, and luckily so do their parents. And they're sticking by Aussie beef even though the US product is back on sale. That's because they're confident it's safe.
I trust in Australian beef because I believe the beef is well produced, clean and natural.
The clean and safe, positive image of Australian beef is well known among Korean shoppers.
This consumer confidence is the result of MLA's highly successful Aussie Beef Clean and Safe campaign, or Hoju Changjangwoo. The message really struck home here after US beef was banned over BSE in 2003, and it's undoubtedly helped us hold off the Americans since their return.
US beef initially gained some market share, but fortunately for Australian beef, which is good news, we've maintained our market share almost 60%, which is much better than we expected.
US beef has only made a small dent in the dominant position enjoyed by Australia. Market share dropped from 62% to 57% in the year to July, although the quantity has actually increased. US beef has managed to recapture 26%, but some of their gain has been at the expense of New Zealand imports, now down to 16%. And that's despite the fact that US prices have undercut ours by around 10%. It seems Koreans are still wary. Some supermarkets have already given up stocking the reintroduced US product because of lack of demand. But MLA is maintaining its close ties with its customers, with lots of in-store promotions and demonstrations like this one in Seoul.
I think this is very important to get out into the market and hear directly what the customers have to say.
And the recent Kids Love Beef promotion targets the family market for good reason. Koreans are exceptionally ambitious for their children. They're the second best educated nation on the planet, so the campaign highlights the nutrients in beef that are good for your brain.
Kids Love Beef campaign has been very successful purely because we've been educating the Korean market about omega-3, which is brain food. And Koreans are very focused on education. And once they understand that's brain food, that is a target market they will continue to focus on.
They've even enlisted the help of the country's most popular chef. Ms. Moon has cult status in Korea. In this cyber-savvy nation, her website has a devoted following. Now she's being sponsored to promote Aussie beef. The biggest threat to Australia's position now is the proposed free trade agreement between Korea and the US. If it's ratified, import duties will be phased out over the next 15 years. Current levies are 40% for all imports. Australia is in the process of negotiating its own deal. MLA says it's vital we get parity with the US.
If they were to ratify and we were still languishing with no deal, then Australia would be severely disadvantaged in that Korean market. The Americans would get a head start, they'd get a reduced tariff. After 3 or 4 years, we would be uncompetitive in the pricing because of the tariff impacts. So we need to conclude a deal. We need to get every bit as what the Americans have achieved, or better.
15% of Australia's beef exports head to Korea, making it our third largest overseas market, worth a total of $883 million last year. Its significance is something that MLA has broadcast.
Korea has a special place. It is given special attention. It has a special effort assigned to it, and we make that very well known to our government, and I'm pleased to say that our government are completely attuned to the interests of the Australian beef industry.
But MLA doesn't want to mount a politically controversial challenge to the domestic beef industry in Korea, and it doesn't simply want to beat off the US. It aims to grow the whole beef market, which is still below pre-BSE levels. so it's taking aim at other rivals in the chiller cabinet.
I have two aims for this market, I think, is to maintain our market share at 60% and also to grow the beef pie. Currently, Koreans are consuming only 8 kilograms per person and 18 kilograms of pork. In Australia, we consume 35 kilograms, so there is plenty of potential here in Korea.
MLA isn't satisfied with merely maintaining the current healthy appetite for Australian beef. It's aiming to make Korean consumers hungry for more.